So here's your backup. I'm just gonna take it. Is it on?
No, those two should be off. These
Yeah.
two are.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna put the backup over here. They're both off, yeah. So I'll have to try to
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Catherine Thomas, the senior class president, and I am honored to be able to welcome the class of 2018 graduates, along with our family, friends, and faculty, to our graduation ceremony today. Would you all please rise for the presentation of our colors? The colors are presented by our NJROTC Liberty Battalion. Our national anthem will be performed by Georgetown High School senior and choir president Anna Martin.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You killed it. Great job. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to be able to introduce a few guests seated on stage. Representing the Board of Trustees for the Georgetown Independent School District, Mr. Scott Stribling, Miss Melanie Dunham, Mr. David Phillips, Mr. Ben Stewart, and Mr. Andy Webb. Also present on this stage are Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Fred Brent, members of the GISD leadership team, and GHS Principal Wes Vanacek. We have all worked so hard to get to this point, and we could not have done it alone. We owe a huge debt of gratitude to our teachers, staff, and administration. Thank you so much for putting up with us and for selflessly giving us your time, talent, and effort. We could not have done it without you. Thank you. And to our parents, we definitely don't say it enough, but we thank you so much for supporting us in more ways than we could possibly count. Y'all are the reason we are the people standing before you today. Any successes we might achieve are simply a reflection of you. You've been there for us no matter what, and we could never thank you enough. And finally, to my amazing class of 2018, we have supported each other, laughed with one another. We've made many great memories along our journey. High school can present many challenges and struggles, but what makes that bearable are the friends that we surround ourselves with. So graduates, take this moment in and appreciate the friends who have never left your side. Congratulations, class of 2018, and always remember, Eagle Fight never dies.
Thank you, Kat. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Wes Vanacek. I have the honor and privilege of serving in the principal of Georgetown High School. I'd like to welcome everyone tonight, and as we celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2018. At this time, I'd like to introduce the salutatorian of the senior class of 2018, Miss Julia Morales. Julia is the daughter of Lou and Robin Morales. She'll be attending Texas Christian University in the fall to study biology. Please welcome Julia Morales. You got it. You're right there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vanacek. Before I begin, I would like to take a moment to express my appreciation. To the staff and faculty of GISD, thank you for inspiring us to achieve our dreams. To our loved ones, thank you for your support during both our trials and triumphs. And to my class of 2018, thank you for welcoming me with open arms and making these past 4 years unforgettable. When I began to write this speech, I received a lot of suggestions from my friends and classmates. Those who knew me best wanted me to quote Disney movies, Taylor Swift, and Harry Potter. So initially, I just wanted to share with you that all you need is faith, trust, and a little pixie dust, and that the class of 2018 will never go out of style, because I solemnly swear that I am up to no good. But I decided that did not have enough substance for today. So instead of rambling on about pop culture references, I wanted to take this opportunity to share with you something that I learned as an Army brat. For those of you who don't know, my father served in the Army. Every few years, my family and I moved to various military bases across the country, and I attended 7 different schools before I moved to GHS my freshman year. You might consider this nomadic lifestyle to be quite crazy, and I honestly wouldn't blame you, but I wouldn't trade my life as an Army brat for anything. Being an Army brat has taught me the importance of embracing the suck or just being comfortable with the uncomfortable. One thing I learned while crisscrossing this great nation is that everyone wants to feel comfortable. Everyone here has a favorite comfort food, a comfy outfit, and relaxing activity. For me, I can always find my comfort when I reread my favorite book while eating Chick-fil-A in a super soft TCU shirt. Now, going back to all of my pop culture references, what's the similarity between Disney, Taylor Swift, and Harry Potter? Each of those references represent my childhood. When I was a little girl, you could always find me watching Disney princess movies, singing along pretty badly to my favorite music, or curled up with the new book series. Your childhood, however, was probably represented by other things. Maybe it was riding your bike up and down the block, watching Star Wars, or just playing ball outside with your family. We all have something from our childhood that we can immediately identify with and seek comfort within, because it's human nature to feel comfortable. However, once we receive our diplomas and cross this stage, everything is about to radically change. We are all going to have to learn to become comfortable with the uncomfortable. Each graduate sitting here this afternoon is about to embark on the next chapter of their lives. Some of us might be heading into the workforce, others enrolling in college, joining the military, or traveling the world. With these upcoming changes, we have absolutely no idea what our future holds. However, I can guarantee that every single one of us will face an obstacle that appears to be impossible. When this happens, it is essential that we seek comfort in the uncomfortable. As an Army brat, there have been many times where I've been forced to become resilient and find my comfort in the uncomfortable. When I was 10 years old, I moved to California. But before you start thinking that you're jealous I lived in California, you should probably reconsider that. I lived in Fort Irwin, California, which is in the middle of the Mojave Desert. In the summertime, it was 120 degrees in the shade, if you could find it. And if that does not sound unbearable, it was 81 miles one way to the nearest Target. Yeah, the first few months I was there, I was absolutely and justifiably miserable. The extreme heat and isolation were insufferable, and I would go to our local pool as my escape. And this is where I found my comfort in the uncomfortable. I became a competitive swimmer and was then able to find my niche when I moved to Georgetown 4 years ago. When I moved here, I was absolutely uncomfortable. I was a freshman entering high school, and I didn't know anybody sitting here. However, my very first class on the very first day of high school was swimming, and I was immediately welcomed by my teammates with open arms. Their compassion and support showed me that I wasn't alone. This community reached out to help me find my comfort in the uncomfortable, which ultimately led me to become an active part of our school and community. Trust me, I know that change is often unwelcome and quite daunting, but it isn't impossible. It is crucial that you persevere and find your comfort in the uncomfortable. Things will get better and you will change. 7 years ago, I was devastated about moving into the middle of the Mojave Desert, but as I'm standing up here, I can acknowledge that without that challenge, I would not be the same young woman standing in front of you today. Through my determination to find my comfort in the uncomfortable, I have been blessed with amazing opportunities to pursue my goals. So this afternoon, I wish each of you the strength, resiliency, and perseverance so you can find your comfort in the uncomfortable. As Disney's Mama Odie, Taylor Swift, and Albus Dumbledore once said, you gotta dig a little deeper and shake it off, because happiness can be found even in the darkest times if one only remembers to turn on the light. Thank you.
Good job, girl. You're so good. Proud of you. Thank you, Julia. It's now my pleasure to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2018, Mr. Kyle Holland. Kyle is the son of Sam and Billy Joe Holland. Kyle will be attending Southwestern University next fall to study biology. Please welcome Kyle Holland. All right, buddy, knock him down. You're right there.
All right, is this a good distance? I've been told I speak quietly. Everyone can hear me? Yeah? Okay. At first, I'd like to echo the sentiments expressed by Ms. Morales and Ms. Thomas that without Georgetown ISD faculty, staff, and parents, none of us would be here today. You've made us who we are, and we're so grateful for you. All right. Let me prepare myself real quick. All right. So, we made it. 17, 18, 19 years, dozens of tests and essays, probably upwards of 1,000 math problems, not to mention the unyielding tyranny of the golf cart. Young man. But we made it. Now what? Well, as I understand it, that's up to you. That is your problem. But I'm pretty sure that I'm supposed to impart some sort of advice looking ahead, so I guess here's what I've learned. I find that the most valuable thing I've realized during my years at high school is that life is what you make of it. Perhaps it's somewhat of a tired sentiment at this point, but I still consider it my singular most important guiding principle. We've all grown to harbor our own beliefs and principles at this point, and it's crazy to think that just 4 years ago, we were virtually fetuses, no wiser about what the future holds than we are now. The past is a curious thing, what with its intangibility and seeming distance, but don't forget that tomorrow, today will be the past, and the day after tomorrow, tomorrow will be the past, and then the next day, today will be triple yesterday. The point is that the present is your medium for influence of the future. your future, and the past is an invaluable learning experience. Now, bear with me. YOLO is a long-dead prehistoric meme at this point, and for the most part, the ironic application of the phrase, "you only live once," is generally really, really bad. YOLO is not a valid excuse for poor decisions, but I can support the phrase, "you only live once" at the end of living life to the fullest. That meaning taking reasonable risks, embracing failure, not being afraid to venture outside your own comfort zone, etc., etc. The fact that you get the chance to experience life is just too momentous an opportunity, or to be afraid to waste. Think about it this way. An incomprehensible number of chance events has led to this moment. This planet has seen the rise of human civilization, the progress of society and culture, the development of new technologies, the evolution of language, religion, philosophy, science, the rise and fall of 1,000 empires, the bones of 100 billion people all buried or ground to dust. Thousands of years and trillions upon trillions of chance occurrences have ordained that you be here today. So here we are, seated on bizarre configurations of metal and plastic, dressed in blue ceremonial fabric in a nice air-conditioned building, occupying an unknowably small patch of land on an unfathomably small planet in an inconceivably massive universe. Not to belittle our achievements here. Quite to the contrary, and despite the scale and seeming absurdity of it all, you're here at the apex, prepared to join humanity at the pinnacle of its existence. Think about that. Every one of us, through the enigmatic gift of sheer existence, has the opportunity to relish the human experience in ways no human ever has before. But more than that, the opportunities available to you in life are so numerous and fantastic that I implore you, go live. Your body is the apparatus of your mind, your being the instrument of your will. And now, at last finished with compulsory schooling, you, as an individual, are more free to exert yourself on the world in furtherance of that will than ever before. Get out there, explore the world, make mistakes, find what makes you happy, never stop learning, be good to others, stay hydrated, wash your hands, shower every once in a while. Don't get caught vaping. Waterboarding is not as fun as it sounds. Don't go around licking doorknobs. Watch out for acid rain. Refrain from consuming petroleum byproducts. Stay the heck away from bears. But above all else, make sure to have fun. Life is what you make of it, and I hope that you all choose to make your lives absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. That's some sage advice. I hope y'all listened. Alrighty, at this time, we'd like to recognize Georgetown High School graduates who represent a legacy in their family. So if you are a second-generation Eagle, please stand and be recognized at this time. Thank you. You may be seated. Tonight we have 7 third-generation Eagles that we're going to recognize tonight. So when I call your name, please stand and remain standing. First is Chandler Crawford. Chandler is a third-generation graduate of Georgetown High School. Her mother, Regina Viduri, graduated in 1984. Her father, Larry Wayne Crawford, Jr., in 1983. Chandler's grandparents, Cynthia Renee Clayman and Mark Edward Rogers, graduated from GHS in 1965 and 1963. Congratulations, Chandler. Next is Mr. Cooper Caden Owen. Cooper is also a third-generation graduate. His mother, Christy Champion Owen, graduated from GHS in 1985, and father Ray Owen in 1983. Finally, Cooper's grandfather, Bob Champion, graduated GHS in 1962. Congratulations, Cooper. We also have Miss Cora Champion. Cora is a third-generation graduate of GHS. Her mother, Sherry Whiteside Champion, graduated in 1991, and her father, Gene Champion, in 1988. Cora's grandfather, Bob Champion, again, class of 1962. Congratulations, Cora. Next is Lauren Stoffel. Lauren is a third-generation graduate of GHS. Her mother, Laura Hawes Stoffel, graduated in 1984. Lauren's grandmother, Louise Hawes, was GHS class of 1963, and her grandfather, GHS class of 1958. Congratulations, Lauren. Next is Michaela Boyd. Michaela is also a third-generation graduate from GHS, as her mother, Sharon Boyd, was GHS class of 1987. Michaela's grandmother, Guadalupe Vasquez, graduated from GHS in 1974. Congratulations, Michaela. Next is Lila Gibson. Ms. Gibson is also a third-generation graduate. Lila's mother, Cynthia Gibson, class of 1986. Father, Scott Gibson, GHS class of 1983. Lila's grandfather, Charles Mervyn Boydston, was GHS class of 1947. Congratulations, Lila. Our final third-generation graduate is Mr. Ryan Neitch. Ryan's father, Bruce Neitch, graduated from GHS in 1986. His grandfather, Gus Neitch, graduated in 1958. Congratulations, Ryan. Next, we have 3 fourth-generation Eagles. Miss Kira Sharp. Kira is a fourth-generation Eagle. Her mother, Jennifer Sharp, graduated in 1991. Her grandfather, John Sharp, in 1965, and her great-grandmother, Lois Sharp, was graduating class of 1923. Congratulations, Kira. Next, we have Mr. Evan Sharp. Evan is also a fourth-generation graduate. His father, Kelly Sharp, graduated in 1987. His grandfather, John, in 1965, and Evan's great-grandmother, Lois Sharp, again in 1923. Congratulations, Evan. And finally, our third fourth-generation graduate is Mr. Levi Anderson. Levi is our final fourth-generation graduate, as his mother, Rose Buford Anderson, graduated GHS in 1994. Levi's father, Jason Anderson, graduated GHS in 1992. Levi's grandfather, Pete Buford, was GHS class of 1960. And finally, Levi's great-grandfather, Emil Cecil Buford, graduated in the early 1930s. Congratulations, Levi. We do have one fifth-generation graduate. Miss Carlin Frazier. Carlin's mother, Ashley Crosby Frazier, graduated in 2000. Her father, Lyle Frazier, GHS class of 1999. Carlin's grandmother, Regina Frazier, was GHS class of 1983. Joanne Thornton is Carlin's great-grandmother and graduated in the late 1950s. And finally, Carlin's great-great-grandmother, Della Boydston, was GHS graduate in the late 1930s. Congratulations, Carlin. Congratulations to all of our legacy Eagles. I know your families are proud that you carry forward the Eagle legacy. This time I'd like to take a moment and recognize a very special group of graduates. If you are a senior who will be entering any branch of the military, please stand and be recognized at this time. Thank you. You may be seated. This time, I'd also like to recognize our educators. If you are an educator and had the privilege of serving one of these 461 graduates sitting before you, please stand at this time and be recognized. Our educators, please. Thank you. And finally, there's one more group that I would like to personally recognize and speak to, and that's you guys, the 461 young adults sitting before us. It's absolutely been an honor and a privilege to serve as your principal for your senior year. I would be remiss if I didn't attempt to impart some sort of wisdom upon you tonight, as after all, this is my last chance. But first, let's talk about the world. It seems lately that it's crumbling. I must confess that I've found myself even asking, what is the world coming to? And it's easy to slip into despair when media and social media are barraging us, and it seems that all has gone to hell in a handbasket. But I stand here before you today with such clarity about our world. I see in front of me young men and women that will serve our communities in medicine, in education, in trades, in law enforcement, in business, and in service. I see young men and women that stand up for those who cannot. I see young men and women that serve others more than themselves. I see young men and women that have walked through adversity and trial hand in hand and are stronger today than you were 180 days ago when this senior journey began. I see young men and women who are equipped and prepared to solve problems of tomorrow and face challenges unknown. I see our world. If you can leave here today knowing one thing, know that you have a role to play in this world. You have a part, an important part in this world. You'll become mothers, fathers, doctors, lawyers, teachers, lawmakers, writers, speakers, mentors, and many other wonderful things. There's a saying around here, eagle fight. That's that relentless pursuit of excellence that's inside of each and every one of you. That role that you take on in this world is going to demand that you fight and never give up. You apply that eagle fight never dies to everything you do in your life, as you have the last 4 years. I stand before you today proud and hopeful because I see our world, not as the media would portray it, but the truth. I could not be more proud. Now, before we invite Dr. Brent to come to the podium and begin our official certification process, we still have a small window of time that we can celebrate these students as seniors. So would you please join me in recognizing the great group of young men and women before you, the 2018 senior class of Georgetown High School. You're almost there, guys. This time, I would like to invite Dr. Fred Brent, Superintendent of Schools, to address our seniors and guests.
Before I share a few words with you, I'd like to first congratulate two very important leaders who led you as campus principal. Your first 2 years of high school, you had Mr. Cade Smith. The last two, you've had Mr. Wes Vanacek. You two gentlemen, we appreciate you dearly. Thank you. So here we are, the day, high school graduation. And while graduation is always an important day for me as a superintendent of Georgetown ISD, your graduation marks the first time in my career that I am participating in this event as a superintendent and as a father. So, before your principal, Mr. Vanacek, and I certify you to the Board of Trustees, declaring you as graduates, I would appreciate the opportunity to share a few words with you. And even though I realize the message from me may be the last thing that you want, but I would remind you guys that I am the last thing standing between you and walking across this stage. So, hang in there and listen up. The following is a quote from a popular movie that came out in the 90s called Shawshank Redemption. The quote is this: "Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies." Hope. That word can mean different things to different people. For me, as a superintendent and as a father tonight, hope is about an expectation, a desire, or a belief that something good may happen. Now, you may or may not be aware of this, but my family and I moved to Georgetown in summer of 2014 when I became the superintendent of schools. But the driving reason for coming to Georgetown was hope. Hope of finding a town that my family could call home. Hope that my oldest son, Austin, who sits beside you this evening, will find a high school like GHS. Hope that in 4 years I would be here in this very moment, not only as a superintendent, but also as the father of a senior, preparing to certify to this amazing Board of Trustees that you are ready to be launched in your future. So, today, for the first time in my career, I'm speaking to a graduating class as a superintendent and as a dad, and a community that my family can proudly call home. And thankfully, 4 years after arriving in Georgetown, I stand before you at graduation, full of hope for your future and the future before you. My first year as a superintendent, you guys are in first grade. Yes, it's been a long time for me too. That means for his entire school year, Austin's friends and classmates just assumed that cafeteria food and closing school for bad weather days were his responsibility. And I appreciate all of your efforts. Now, this may be a shocker, but it's important that you know before graduating that as a first grader and as a senior, Austin was not the one setting the lunch menu, I promise. And he did not get a say on school closings, no matter how hard he tried. Students, as your superintendent, I want to say a special thank you to this class. My hope is that each of you will feel empowered by your experiences at GHS to pursue your passions in life, and that you will live a life of leadership and service. That you will find a way to learn from the challenges you will face, and that you embrace them with grit and perseverance. And if you do this, with each challenge, you will grow into the person you are meant to become. And as a dad, my hope for you is that you approach life with a passion for being the best you are capable of becoming. That your life is driven by a purpose that pulls at you and stirs within your soul. Students, please take a moment to look around this room. This is a special day for you, but also for everyone here. We are here for you. I challenge you to envision every person in this building, every person in this building placing a hand on your shoulder, speaking words of encouragement and wisdom into your soul. I need you to imagine that we're all praying for you, because that's exactly what many of us have been doing since the day you were born. And we will continue to do as long as we have a breath of life within us. The adults in your life, including those of us here with you tonight, are here because we want to celebrate you and your future. We have been on the journey upon which you are about to embark, the same we call adulthood, but the terrain you will face is much different. You must navigate challenges we had no idea you would face when we brought you into this world. I mean, think about it. The iPhone did not even exist when you guys started school. I know that's hard to believe, right? Social media and the uncertainty of its implications on our society. I mean, seriously, I'm still confused by Snap, Instagram, and whatever the heck it is you guys are using now. Heck, I don't even really know if I understand what a meme is and the rules for how one is to be used. It's an ongoing debate. And I will tell you, I must admit, I still don't know if it's Yanny or Laurel. I'm saying. But My gut says Yanni. It's got to be Yanni. However, what I do know, Laurel, someone said Laurel. What I do know is this. Whatever this world sends our way, you will navigate the future for us. And I promise you, we will look to your leadership. When I think of the challenges that await you, I feel confident that you will lead us into the future and help our society adjust to this thing we call the digital future and all the social implications that it brings. And I look to you with hope. I have confidence that you will be the leaders we need you to be and great hope for your future. Throughout these past 4 years, while reflecting on the experiences of my son, your classmate, Austin, I have found myself forming an opinion of you collectively. Based on my observations and your experiences, the one thing that kept coming to my mind when I reflected on you is true north. True north. One definition states that true north is in accordance with fact or reality, without deviation. And during this time of reflection, I'm reminded that people often judge the whole by the part that they know. And this is where true north kept coming back to mind. I've watched my son go through high school with you, and I've watched him evolve into a young man that, to me, he exemplifies true north. You, as a class, have revealed to me, through actions and reactions, that you know who you are. And during these 4 years, Austin, like the rest of you, has faced the challenges that come with growing up in a world that moves at a faster pace than with more random influences than any generation we've seen. And in all of this, you have shown yourselves to be true north. You truly have. You seem to embrace the reality of the situation in front of you, and you move forward without deviation. As a father, I cannot be more proud of the young man who sits among you and is my son. And as a superintendent, my heart has been touched by the depth of who he is as a person, but by the depth of who you are as a class. I have great hope that you will all set out on this journey, pulled by the magnetism of your own true north. So in closing, I have 2 more things to share. I promise, we're almost there. There are messages I hope you'll always keep close to your heart. One is a very common Bible passage, but one that I believe always holds true. Simply states, trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. Acknowledge Him in all of your ways, and He will make your path straight. And finally this, students, soon to be graduates, you must know, you must always know that we, all of us in this room, all of us here, your parents, your family, more importantly, the Georgetown community, regardless of what happens in the future, you must always know that we love you, that we are praying for you, and that we believe in you with all of our heart. We, collectively, look to your future with great hope. Eagle fight never dies. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Brent. Will the candidates for graduation please stand? That's you guys. The Georgetown Independent School District requires that students meet established criteria for participation in this ceremony. Dr. Brent, all students participating in this ceremony have satisfactorily completed these requirements.
Board President Scott Stribling and the trustees of Georgetown ISD, as superintendent of schools, it is my distinct honor to certify that its students here before us tonight, the Georgetown High School class of 2018, have met the requirements as determined by the state of Texas and the Georgetown Independent School District Board of Trustees for high school graduation. Congratulations.
At this time, will the first group of graduates prepare to receive your diploma? The rest of you may be seated.
Kyle M. Holland.
Julia Maria Morales.
Michaela Yakish.
Sarah Grace Greenhaw.
Elise Flox.
Nathan Paul Greenhaw.
Dawson Carr.
Almeria V. Berry.
Tyler Anthony Springer.
Ashley Feel.
Catherine Grace Thomas.
Anna Marie Martin.
Anna Valley Haryu.
Marie Goldner.
William Ashpole.
Bam Tankichuran.
Andrea Uvik.
Calvin M. Adams.
Joshua Aguilar Perez.
Alexia Elizabeth Alaminsky.
Conrad Matthew Albrecht.
Shane Robert Alexander.
Sheldon Bryant Alaman.
Seth Ryan Alowitz.
Janie Andablo.
Eric Lawrence Anderson.
Levi Anderson.
Olivia Catherine Anderson.
Kiara Celeste Angel.
Joshua Angel Orojo.
Vanessa Arias.
Shadia Elizabeth Armada.
Connor Jude McCoy Arnold.
Drew Arnold.
Jose Arriaga Ramirez.
Aspen S. Atkins.
Ariadna Ayala.
Jacqueline Baez.
Natalie Renee Baker.
Garrett Lee Bannister.
Diego Daniel Baquero.
Ricardo Daniel Barajas.
Andrew Carey Barfield.
Brianna Jalen Barrera.
Cooper Lee Bell.
Sydney Shay Bennett.
Lauren Best.
Megan Betancourt.
Lance Alexander Beals.
Cameron Elise Biondo.
Morgan Lynn Bishop.
Adam Ryan Bazell.
Taylor Morgan Black.
Nicole Ann Blaylock.
Michaela Renee Bollinger.
Marina Lee Boltinghouse.
Mikla Shea Boyd.
Jenna Frances Brennan.
Austin Price Brent.
Grace Elizabeth Bridges.
Joshua Edward Brown.
Mackenzie Marie Brown.
Payden Lee Brown.
Michael Tyler Bruns.
Jack Cameron Bumgardner.
Caleb Garrett Bunch.
Brandon Michael Barola.
Delaney Catherine Butler.
Aaron Justin Calderon.
Andrew Jet Cameron.
Karina Victoria Campo.
Luis A. Campos Ibarra.
Jacqueline Amber Canales.
Christian Canseco.
Joe Angel Cantu.
Angela Marie Carlin.
Luke Lee Carlin.
Lindsay Ray Carlson.
Sebastian Alexander Carino.
Joseph Reed Carroll.
Jahari Anais Carter.
Kyle David Carthel.
Cora Lynn Champion.
Jackson Davis Champion.
Macy Lee Champlin.
Ethan Reed Cheney.
Jacob Collins Cheney.
Lindsay D. Charpentier.
Logan Ryle Chin.
Taylor Jane Chenoweth.
Andrew Joseph Chung.
Avery Rose Cersei.
Kobe Coleman.
Haley Elizabeth Kahn.
Alexis Kaylin Copley.
Roel Cortez.
Michael Reed Coram.
Kendall Dawn Craig.
Chandler Beth Crawford.
Cassidy Ann Creed.
Nicholas Austin Crombie.
Nathan Foster Culbertson.
Emily Daniel.
Bianca Christine Daniels.
Haley Yolanda Della Torre.
Amaris Dean.
Brianna Dean.
Daniel de la Cruz.
Mark Anthony De Leon.
Jesse Duvall.
Alec William Deschong.
Savannah Lynn Dominguez.
Logan Michael Douglas Drake.
Evan Lee Dreyer.
Campbell Duffy.
Frank Joseph Durante.
Mackenzie Faith Edwards.
Sean Thomas Eichel.
Jesse Daniel Eigenberg.
Ryan T. Elkins.
Emily Reagan Ellis.
Connor Blake Elston.
Sarah Elizabeth Elston.
Lauren Taylor Ingdow.
Skylar Mackenzie Epstein.
Catalino Escolano Rodriguez.
Elizabeth Rachel Fisher.
Alyssa Renee
Back to live action. Molly Ryan Fletcher.
Hannah R. Fontenot.
David Forbes.
Ashley J. Forehand.
John Carl Frank II.
Carlin Faith Frazier.
Austin Lewis Freetag.
Carolyn Claire Fulton.
Dave Fulton.
Stafford.
Giovanni Gamboa.
Johnny Bob Gant III.
Alfred Rosas Garcia Jr.
Elena R. Garcia.
Galberto Garcia.
Raven R. Garcia.
Braden Alexander Garner.
Emily Reese Garner.
Caitlin Garza.
Randy Johnson Garza.
Maria Gaitan.
Lila Grace Gibson.
Connor Arthur Giersch.
Miranda Michelle Gill.
Chase Allen Gilly.
Taylor Renee Glanville.
Trace Ellison Glanville.
Jacob Evan Glass.
Alfredo Gonzalez.
Jaden Arthur Gonzalez.
Keila Betsabi Gonzalez.
Mason Andrew Gorman.
Allison Lee Gottfried.
Morgan Bridget Gozdonovic.
Elijah Gray.
Michael Ray Green.
Morgan Alley Green.
Haley Renee Hale.
Ashley Elizabeth Hall.
Krista Elizabeth Hall.
Lindsay Marie Hall.
Catherine Grace Hannah.
Chase Matthew Harper.
Emily Harris.
Kayla Michelle Hart.
Brandon Nolan Hawkins.
Audie Heaton.
James Theodore Aber.
Wyatt Lane Henderson. Jaden Thad Hereford.
Jasmine Junuel Hernandez.
Peyton Hess.
Caleb O. Hickerson.
Devin Kayla Hidalgo.
Elsa Hillis.
Scarlett M. Hobbs.
Alexis F. Hopkins.
James Stephen Horn.
Wesley Davin Houston.
Brian Euless Howard.
Darshan Michael Howard.
Audrey R. Ilse.
Jennifer Noemi Interial.
Noah W. Irving.
Cole Parker Isbell.
Olivia Grace Hakami.
Kyle Jordan Jaskula.
Sarah Elizabeth Jett.
Alicia Christine Johnson.
Aubrey Lynn Johnson.
Caitlin Johnson.
Olivia Johnson.
Amber Haley Jones.
Austin Jones.
Lauren Celeste Jones.
Stephen Dason Jones.
Jacqueline Page Kay.
Alexander M. Keck.
Bryce Ray Cassie Lorigan.
Hunter Allen Kirby.
Maha A. Khan.
Samuel Bryant King.
Davis Carter Kinslow.
Morgan Exene Klauber.
Lance Matthew Klusman.
Amanda M. Knight.
Charles Maxwell Kreger.
Dylan Culp.
Jessica L. LaGreca.
Connor Lancaster.
Albany Lara.
Travis Allen Larson.
Daniel Robert Layson.
Berkeley Philip Lashley.
Julie Ann Lassiter.
Riley Page Lawrence.
Melina Misha Lee.
Caden Trey Leggett.
Jack Linhard.
Rylan Nicholas Lydecker.
Timothy B. Lillian.
Corbin Lindstrom.
Emily E. Lloyd.
Philip Lloyd.
Carlos Javier Lopez.
Valerie Lopez.
Vivian Alexis Lopez.
Adriana Luna.
Caitlin M. Mock.
Colton Lee Mahu.
Preston Albert McKay.
Courtney Lee Mahana.
Amanda Nicole Maso.
Anika Mares.
Morgan Natalie Marshall.
Cordell Wesley Martin.
Keely Elizabeth Martinez.
Roderick Lee Martinez.
Garrett D. Mason.
Mario David Mata.
Braxton Lane Matson.
Laurel McKenna Matthews.
Caden Wade Maxwell.
Rachel Elizabeth May.
Russell S. May.
Alexis McCammon.
Ryan McGuire.
Aiden James McSpadden.
Josiah Enoch Metter.
Michelle Medina.
Morgan Elizabeth Mercer.
Ashton Merkard.
Kyle Dustin Mosaic.
Joey Michael.
Carter Charles Miller.
Trent Miller.
Riley Ann Moeller.
Caleb Monosmith.
Allison Elizabeth Montgomery.
Ismael Andreas Montoto.
Cole Moore.
Isaias Morasa.
Joshua Morris.
Ruby Morrison.
Riley Callahan Morton.
Haley Marie Moser.
Miles Daniel Modekef.
William Austin Munns.
Norma Murillo.
Catherine Murphy.
Jade Elizabeth Nastasi.
Ryan William Knight.
Keaton Wayne Nelson.
Andrew Westland Newman.
Christian Nieto.
Yahara Nino.
Caitlin Nowak.
Jesse Lee Noel.
Davis T. Northcutt.
Hannah Margaret Norwood.
Caitlin Megan Norwood.
Raven Lynn Null.
Corey Dane O'Bannon.
Cameron Derry Oliver.
Isaiah Olmos.
Marissa Ortega.
Cooper Caden Owen.
Kayla Marie Padilla.
Lucy Palacios.
Ashlyn Dawn Pannell.
Riley Shea Parker.
Jonathan Sterling Parks.
Dylan John Patrick.
Cayman Irene Patterson.
Jose Perez.
Richard Rene Perez.
Leanna Marie Perkins.
Faith Jean Pernica.
Joseph C. Perrier.
Mary Ruth Pierce.
Maria Pina Mandujano.
Jennifer Panetta.
Nina Vernicia Pope.
Shane Garrett Pope.
Nicholas Matthew Prather.
Zoninia Michelle Prey.
Carter Nathaniel Prince.
Shelby Marie Procalamos.
Caitlin Emily Ann Proctor.
Brenna Pryor.
Donovan G. Pryor.
Abigail Ross Purcell.
Caroline Radmall.
Eric Reese Ragsdale.
Evan Jordan Ramirez.
Jesus Isaias Ramirez.
Raziel Mishra Rapier.
Daisy Marie Reed.
Benjamin Lewis Rickerson.
Ashlyn Taylor Rishton.
Jill Antonina Rivera.
Daniela Nicole Roberts.
Alberica Rodriguez.
Caleb Rodriguez.
Christian E. Rodriguez.
Isabel Victoria Rodriguez.
Yaremi Roldan Segura.
Ryan Romero.
Jared Campbell Ross.
Xanthi Hannah Rowe.
Cade A. Rucker.
Oh, yeah. Xavier Emil Ruffin.
Gabrielle Reina Ruiz.
John Albert Ruiz Jr.
Danielle Ray Rumsey.
Elise Saavedra.
Antonio Alejandro Salazar.
Sarah Sage Salazar.
Isabella Rosa Salinas.
Malin Sanchez.
Roxana L. Sanchez.
Paul Sacedo.
Hunter Kyle Savaris.
Daniel Lee Sawyer.
William Luke Seaback.
Evan Sharp.
Kira Lee Sharp.
Angelina Nicole Shaw.
Jacob Austin Shirley.
Gabriel Enrique Silva.
Justin Andrew Shimmick.
William Patrick Simon II.
Benjamin Luke Skeels.
Olivia Grace Skeels.
Brandon Christopher Smith.
Charles Francis Xavier Smith.
Derek Logan Smith.
Grayson William Smith.
Trinity May Smith.
Zachary Nathaniel Smith.
Amy Solheim.
Tyler Allen Solomon.
Jocelyn South.
Parker Ray Spaniel.
James Brody Sparkman.
Katharina Maria Spikes.
Billy Ray Stallsworth III.
Sage Cambrion Stanton.
Joshua Thomas Stevens.
Grant Edward Stevens.
Lauren Grace Stoffel.
Reagan Elise Streetel.
Megan Ann Sullivan.
Kyla Jean Sutton.
Reese Brant Talley.
Matthew Toporoskis.
Austin William Tottenham.
Brittany Michelle Taylor.
Ian McQueen Taylor.
Kyle Michael Terlindi.
Max Edens Thompson III.
Kimberly Brooke Tisdale.
You sure? Okay. Antonio Torres.
Brandon Torres.
Nicholas Andrew Torres.
Ricky Torres III.
Jackson Tyler Travis.
Caitlin Marie Turner.
Marjorie Corinne Turner.
Colin Thomas Tyler.
Hadley Claire Ullman.
Olivia Grace Uncle.
Kyle Ryan Urbanowski.
Severiana Arudia.
Giovanni Valverde.
Haley Elizabeth Vanderhaar.
Tanner J. Vasquez.
Manuel Vega Sanchez.
Ruben Eric Vera.
Madison Vickers.
Christian Alexander Vidari.
Austin Jacob Viti.
Kayla N. Wade.
Parker Monroe Walden.
Sydney Ellen Walker.
Jeffrey Patrick Waltman.
Joshua B. Warnish.
Thomas Warnish.
Alexander D. Watson.
Brandon Watson.
Ashlyn Elaine Weaver.
James Elliott Weeks.
Michaela A. Waite.
Josephine Wyrick.
James Philip Welch.
Eliza Jane Whitfield.
Aaron Michael Wilkerson.
Alexander Williams.
Jeffrey Williams.
Tiffany Lynn Wilrich.
William Joseph Wyndham.
Zachary Todd Wolf.
Philip Christian Woolery Price.
Mary Abigail Yoder.
Madeline Reese Zach.
Zachary Zapata.
Talon Drake Zaro.
Jackson Alexander Zenisek.
Cole D. Zubdik.
Steven Helidoro Zuniga Rodriguez.
All right, congratulations, Eagles. There we go. Would you please rise for the playing of our school song? Eagles, you may now move your tassel from the right to the left, signifying graduation. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my privilege and honor to present to you the graduates of Georgetown High School, class of 2018.
What is that? What's going
Getting
on?
out of here.
Oh, why is it so hard?
I don't know. Shouldn't be. Huh? Well, they were just like two groups that weren't even going. They were all just standing around.
Where do we go to get Austin?
Out front. Yep. They're all out front, straight out where they're going. Monday. There I go. Congratulations. That's a great one. Dun, 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 dun.